Good morning. I hope you're doing well. I hope that wherever you are is doing good for you. My name is Paul Carpenter, and this little episode is called Living Honestly. I start in 5. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. I hope that you're doing well, and I hope that wherever you are is doing good for you. My name is Paul Carpenter, and this little episode is called Living Honestly. I've got my coffee. I'm waiting for some people to show up. So, here it is. This is a tough video for me to make. And so, hi. The last 7 months of my life have been an absolute amazing journey. I've traveled something like, 15,000 miles over the last 7 months. And I've had an amazing time. And I had an amazing partner. But this all comes down to something I'm trying to express, which is honestly living. And honestly living is a tough thing to do. I just want to let that be known right now. Being really honest with people about who you are, about what you've done in your past, about any of it. Oh, and I'm sorry. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Please forgive me. I'm in this mode right now. So good morning, Chris. Good morning, Zvi. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, everybody. I thank you for staying. I thank you for joining. I thank you, Isaac. I thank you, everybody. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. So this comes down to what we're talking about is called living honestly. And living honestly is not easy. Being real on camera. No, dude, I got coffee. What are you talking about? Being real on camera, being honest on camera, and not. There's a weird thing that happens when you're honest, or when you're on camera, right? You immediately feel as though people are watching you. There's a really cool YouTube channel, by the way, a guy who just walks around filming people without their permission in the streets, which is legal, but he does it in such a way where the people start to get angry. And there's this idea that we love our privacy, even though privacy is kind of a fake thing on some level, especially in today's world, right? But as soon as somebody comes into your space and starts taking from you, you get angry. And someone taking your picture or your video without your permission feels weird. But what I'm getting at here is about this honesty, this way of living honestly. And I try to do this, by the way, as honest as I can be. I've told you guys about everything. I mean, literally, I don't care. And, I tell you everything. I mean, there's not much I don't tell you, about everything. I've laid it out nonstop. I've told you shit, like, I've blasted my own mother. I've blasted ex-girlfriends and best friends that I thought were friends for life that I ended up getting shot because of. Listen, I'm not one to like pull punches, I guess, like if you're gonna hurt me, I'm definitely gonna let you know that you hurt me. I may not hurt you back, but I will definitely let you know that you hurt me. So, this whole thing, once again, comes down to about living honestly and being real with yourself. Really, really, really real with yourself. To a level that hurts. Because it's like, if you're truly honest with yourself, really, really honest with yourself, you'll get to a point where you recognize your faults. And I'm not trying to hurt myself. I'm not trying to put myself in some kind of negative space. to better myself, because that doesn't make sense either, right? I would much rather have this idea that I'm infinitely being given the opportunity by the universe to better myself at any point in time, and always be a better person and feel better and do better and have that choice. Because there's that action where right before you do something, you know right before you do it, you fucked up. You haven't even done the choice yet. It's just the intention. And as soon as that happens, you know, but it's right after you make the choice, right after you do that thing that you knew you weren't supposed to do, then you're like, damn it, bro, I can't believe I did that. Why did I do that? And I think that we do that because we're in pain. I think we do that because we don't want to be honest with ourselves. You know, it says Isaac says the universe presents us with the opportunity to do the right and wrong thing all day and every moment. You know, I don't want to say that there's something that's good or something that's bad, because I don't believe there is good or bad. I think there's things that work and things that don't work. Like, and things that work are good, and things that don't work are bad. Call it whatever you want, but a system that works is working, right? So you can't say that it's a bad system if it's a system that's working. And that could be like a virus or, I don't know, anything that we would deem bad. But it's working, so it's doing its thing the way it's supposed to do it. Nonetheless, this idea of honest living is stealing away your own mask from yourself, so that when you look at yourself in the virtual mirror of your mind, you don't see somebody else. You see the real you. The you with the mistakes, and the you with the issues, and the you with the problems. And you're not angry or upset at that thing. You're saying it's a work in progress. I'm a sculptor sculpting a unicorn, yo. You know what I mean? Or a barrel. I made a barrel. Look a little. I don't know if you saw this. I even put the wood. So silly. Anyways, the idea is that you're constantly always building to make better, to be better. And so, and understanding that there's an infinite amount of ability for you to be the whatever you want to be. So, now, one thing I do want to mention is this, and I just saw this, and it was a very beautiful thing. Scientists have been talking about time travel recently, and how time travel is on its base level a reality. Now, if you get into quantum mathematics, and you talk about displacement, and you talk about quantum entanglement, this is when you start to measure something, right? It's doing both things at the same time, because we're measuring. Now, if you were alive, you're measuring, okay? Because you do that with everything. I measure my cup, how much water I put. We measure everything. By doing so, in essence, you are entangling yourself in parts of the highway of time. Bear with me. Imagine this highway is a big cylinder, circular kind of thing, and inside of each one of those is little tiny circulars, right? They're like tubes, right? And you can choose to go in any one of the tubes. Most of the time, we just choose one tube. And we live our life like that. So, what I'm saying to you is that quantum entanglement happens. This all idea that Schrödinger cat concept, right? And the idea of Schrodinger's cat, if you want me really quickly, I'll give it to you. It's the double slit experiment. I'm sure you know this. Photons going through, and when you look at it over here, it's like, whoa, how can one photon go through one and not the other, and they go through the same at the same time? What's going on? That's weird, right? Okay. The only reason that happens is whether you're observing or not observing the wave pattern. Right, got that. Cool, good. Easy stuff. Got it. So, Schrodinger's cat was trying to disprove a lot of the quantum ideology, because he was saying, listen, it can't work that way if yeah, I know what you're talking about, Isaac. No, and this is an idea. It's the same as Ant-Man. And when he gets really small and he goes into that quantum world where everything's over and over again, and it's the same thing over and over again. This is what I'm trying to get at. The many world idea, the many world theories, the many simulation idea theories is that there's a repeat of me. Like if I'm standing here right now, there's a repeat infinitely of me, and the infinite choices that I could make from this position is what I'm trying to say. And that we're all in that superposition at all times, that we have this ability to constantly change our ability to go to wherever we want within the tube, right? Because you can't get outside of the tube. Getting back to Schrodinger's cat. The idea Schrodinger says is like, look, we're going to get this atomic thingy here, and it's going to be an atom, a particle, an atom, photon, whatever the fuck it was. I think it's an atom. And we're going to see whether this thing is decomposing or not decomposing. If it decomposes, it's going to set off this thing and it's going to kill the cat inside the box, okay? And if it doesn't, then the cat stays alive. But here's the kicker. You won't know until you open the box. That makes sense, right? Because as soon as you place the cat inside the box with the thing and you're trying to measure whether it's decomposing or not decomposing, you can't, because because of the idea of the slit wave experiment, as soon as I make a judgment call, as soon as I make a measurement, fuck. It's either dead or alive. It can no longer be in two states. And the only way that I'm going to know that is if I open the box. But guess what? Here's the kicker. As soon as you open the box, you entangle yourself with the decomposing, atom. And so then you, yourself, are now split into two different places. You're now having two different realities happen at the same time on two separate timelines. Okay? So what does that really mean? Because that's what really gets me. What does that really mean? That means that there is another you somewhere else, right now, without a shadow of a doubt in the mind. We're talking about science, like straight math, numbers. Here we go, ones and zeros. That means there's infinite numbers of you anywhere you want, within the infinite amount of places that you could be right now. And there is no reason whatsoever that your entangled atoms cannot interact with that thing, being, person from another place. What? So, that means that in essence, whatever you're thinking here is the opposite of what someone else, you, but it's a different version of you, is thinking somewhere else. Ooh, I love that, Isaac. Isaac, this was so beautiful. What a beautiful quote from Isaac. He says, it says, when people discuss time travel, they always say, hey, be careful not to alter any details in the past, because you'll drastically alter the future. But no one, and this is so good, but no one thinks about taking a small step today to drastically change your future to be better tomorrow. So good, Isaac. And so, in turn, what I'm getting at is that what you think and what you put into your mind is literally you pushing away the version that's here and pulling in the version that you want. Oh my God, that's so good. And guess what? You don't have to pull anything. It's not a struggle to receive. It's not a struggle to receive. And if you are making it a struggle, then you are finding a reason why you don't want the thing that you're looking for. Did you get that? If you're finding a struggle in trying to receive the thing that you already are entangled by your atoms, both and not at the same time. So if you are here, then that is not somewhere else. Does that make sense? So you switch that out. You switch that out. And then you become the one receiving. That becomes the thing. Push. Boom. You can be anything and anyone you want to be. You've heard that. But I'm giving you the key implements on how to get that. That place that you want to be should not have to be a struggle. Will you have to work for it? Yes. Will you have to attain time and energy towards the goal of that attainment? Yes. But it doesn't have to be a struggle. Life does not have to be a struggle. Pain does not have to last an entire lifetime. And this comes down to living honestly with yourself. Because as soon as you're honest with yourself, as soon as you're truly, vengeance, it says getting over what you're told. And the way that I look at it is like somebody pissed inside your Kool-Aid. And your Kool-Aid was really good way before somebody pissed in it. So, like, make a new batch. You're a beautiful sugary substance. Mix it with some water. Share it with the world. Hate to get religious on this, but it is taught in Judaism that all blessing for a person already existing, it is on that person to bring it down into this world. 100%. Yes, 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 and yes. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, hi, Elizabeth. And that's exactly what I'm talking about in this thing. To bring it down to yourself. The universe is conspiring at all times to give you everything that you could ever want. The conscious mind befuddles the unconscious want. The conscious mind befuddles the unconscious knowing wants. So the unconscious, while we were having this conversation, I was talking to you, you never once thought about your breathing, you never once thought about swallowing or your heart beating. So your body, the essence of what there is you, already knows how to exist, already knows where to be, already knows what to say, already knows what to do. We, by living, get bombarded with all this stuff, and then we think we want things that we don't really need. And then we chase after those things, and then we get those things, and then we realize, oh, fuck, I was off my journey. I was supposed to be way over here. Because we're not being honest with ourselves. Some people said some things. Let me get back in here. My Thomas next door neighbor says, Amen. Hi, Tommy. And this says, here's V comes in with, there's a lot of people in this world who are subconsciously or unconsciously afraid of making their lives great or getting something because they might lose it. And that loss is quite painful. So they themselves, why achieve anything? Why get anything if it's going to be taken away? Not saying this thinking is right, but how many people walk around on this planet? Wow. V, how intense was that? Because on many times and many levels in my own self, have I put myself into, what's the word I used just recently? Sentence structure thingy. Here we go. Self-sabotaging yourself and the things that could be beautiful in your life. And you self-sabotage those things so that you don't have them in your life. And that you can point the finger and say, this is why I don't have it. You see, being rich is bad because rich people are greedy and they're fucking horrible human beings. And I don't want to be rich. So I don't need to be rich. I could just be cool and not be rich. And not be, and okay, and you okay with McDonald's coffee? This ain't no McDonald's coffee. This is my mama's coffee. I mean, are you bringing me a coffee? Is that what you're saying, Thomas? I like it black and sweet like my ladies. All right. Anyways, Oh, okay. If you're going, hold on. Hey, I'd like a small coffee with an extra shot of espresso and 10 sugars. I love you. My neighbor Tommy. He was on here just now. We were talking, and then he came across because you know that TV show, the one where the guy would talk over at the fence. We do that with each other. It's a lot of fun. We do it on purpose too. Like I don't look over on purpose. I only use my eye. I'm like, hey, what's up, Tommy? It's great. Anyways, so let's finish this off. The more honest you can be with yourself. Zvi says being rich, being rich is responsibility. But even King Solomon said that more property, the more headache. Paraphrasing, more people, more money, more problems. What? I got 99 problems and a bitch ain't one. And yeah, on some level I'm with that. You know what I mean? It's there's a level of, and you can't say that having money isn't a responsibility, because it is. Because I mean, think about all the people in the world that, I love this. Talk about quantum. Talking to a dude digitally, and then he yells physically. I'm so metal, bro. I'm so metal. Anyways, I'm trying to move because the sun's starting to come out, and I hate that sun. All right, anyways. All right, so what I was trying to get at here is that in the end of this whole thing, the more honest that you can be with yourself, the more honest you can be with the unconscious patterns, okay? The more you can have better things in your life. It's that simple. That's it. The more you can be honest with the way that you think, the way that you act, with everything about yourself, the more you can have in your life, the more you can attain in your life. Because you're being real. And then if you're being real, then you know your real wants. You know your real needs. And that, in essence, home improvements, V, that was what it was. I don't think so, Tim. So that's basically the story, guys. Be honest. Honestly living. And that means, because the reason for this is why I'm bringing this up, okay, to give you the whole story. After the last 7 months, things ended. We got back together. Things didn't work out. And in the end, I recognized that the self-sabotage happened because she was unhappy in some way, shape, or form with herself. And so therefore she can't accept. And the body, or the unconscious mind, says certain things or does certain things purposely to stab the other person so that they'll leave. Because then it's easier for that person to say, oh, you see, that person left me. And I'm not the bad person. I didn't do something wrong. And it's this place where you're constantly, you're pushing other people away in an effort to save yourself from hurting. And that's a sad place to be, because nobody wants to be there. Isaac says, not I pushed them away constantly. Please explain. Unhealthy and delusional way of thinking. Right. I don't like to say things like delusional, and I always bring it back down to like whether you don't know or you know. Because it's like the same thing with like racism or any of like these like really hardcore systemic issues where people are being downtrodden on some level. I feel like that happens based on the fact that people are not knowledgeable about their behavior or their thought patterns, or so that delusional conceptual idea to me. I mean, I guess that's what delusional is, you know. But it's. I love that, Elizabeth. It's just we're humans, man. We make mistakes. We're not perfect. Relationships where someone stabs you until you leave. But I'm trying to say that as an entirety, Isaac. I'm trying to give that idea as in all the things that happens in your life, and they happen because of this one behavior. I believe. I mean, I'm not, you know, some grand poobastic fuck like that, but in the sense of like knowledge or psychology or anything like that. But it seems as though that when you are in pain, you make decisions that are painful. It's like when you're in fear, you make fearful decisions. When you're scared, you make scared decisions. And if you're in pain, you're going to make painful decisions. And those painful decisions are based on this idea that you're doing something, i.e., you're self-sabotaging yourself because of the pain that you're not being honest with in the first place. So it comes down to the beginning of this conversation, which was honestly living with yourself, honestly living with your pain, honestly living with your mistakes, honestly living, all of that good stuff. Let me try and move a little bit more. Here we go. Because if you can do that, once again, that's when everything starts to change. That's when it becomes a totally different conversation for you and for everyone else around you. Because as soon as you start being that honest thing, whoa. I mean, like think about the person who's been gay their entire life, right? But they've been hiding it from everybody, and they never wanted to tell anybody because society this, or my parents this, or blah, 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 that, or whatever it was. But the day that they come out, they fucking feel this weight just rip right off of them, and they're just like, oh my God, I feel so much better. I feel so much release. And that release is this hold of a weight that you've been putting onto yourself, which is this thing where you can't be honest with yourself about who you are. And if you are honest with yourself about who you are, but you're not honest with everybody else, it's the same thing. And please don't be the kind of person that will lie to somebody else, and then when that person catches you in the lie, you say to them, oh, but you don't, and you try to somehow or another come to some, I don't know what the word here is, but it's like what's the word I'm looking for? When you oh God, what's the word, guys? Wigglers, when they wiggle their way out. No, it's what's it's tip of my tongue. What's this thing called? It's where you it's what I call them. I can't believe that I can't justify. Thank you. Fuck me, God. That you find some kind of justification in your mind for why it was okay that you did it, why it was okay that you lied, why it was okay that you and it's like, listen, take all of that and throw it away. Throw it all away, because all that right is that you're justifying, the justification bullshit is you pointing fingers at other people instead of pointing fingers at yourself and being real. 100%. Because if you were just to be honest, there would be no need to justify anything. I need to justify this and justify that, why it's okay for me to do this because of that. Hey, Paul, I just had a baby. Oh, no way, man. Me and my girl, Me and Vanessa, my girl that you met, and she says, thanks for AC shit still blowing cold air. I love you, dude. I'm so happy that you still have that thing, dude. What a crazy adventure that was with that girl, bro. But that's one of those ideas of honest living, you know? Like, the more, like, she was totally unhonest, not honest with me about anything, about how it was going to work out. And she made it seem like one thing, and then it was something else. Ah, Jesus, whatever. That's a crazy story. I'm going to move because the sunlight's bothering the living crap out of me. Turning, 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 turning around. Oh, do you guys want to see the fishies? Let me show you guys the fishies. You understand? I'm obsessed with these damn fish. Let's see if we can see some fishies today. Fishies. Oh, look, fishies. You just have to play in the water with your finger, and then they like to come out and visit. Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. Look, watch. I'm gonna move the lily pad because they're all underneath the lily pad. Watch this. They like to hang out under the lily pad. It's like their little home. All right, I'm sorry I had to do that. Damn fish. They've got me. The damn fish have got me, I tell you. All right, so fishies. All right, so look. In the end, the more honest you are, the happier you're going to be. The more honest you can be with yourself and what you're really doing with yourself and where you're at, the happier you're going to be. And the less issues and problems you're going to create in your life and those around you. Heavy stuff. But it's true, it really is. The more that you can be like really beautiful and honest with yourself, the more that you're going to be able to create less pain in other people's lives, because you'll be real and honest with them. And then the only time people will hurt is when they're not being honest with you. But that won't be anything that you'll have to be upset about or have pain for. If anything, you'll have compassion and empathy for the people who do that, because you'll understand that they're doing it because they're in pain. And so with that, my friends, please go out to the world, do something nice for somebody else. If you can't do something nice for yourself, it does start with you. Number 2, do not get caught up in all the crazy stuff that's going on in this world, as there is a lot of crazy stuff. So instead, why don't you just be like a happy person and be happy and beautiful and loving to other people and to yourself, and you'll feel better. And number 3, send this out to somebody who's like to see it, or who needs to see it, or who needs to hear it, or watch it, or whatever the hell they're going to do with it. And I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. I will see you on the other side.